Learn the rules like a pro and break them like an artist. Those are the words by Pablo Picasso. And I am not by any stretch of imagination encouraging you to do anything illegal or anything that will put you into trouble with the law. I'm just talking about learning to break the rules that are going to help you advance your life. But let me introduce you to a young lady that I believe was the Pablo Picasso of her own family. This young lady observed her mother preparing a fish dish. But what fascinated her was to see her mother cutting the tail of this fish. And one day she gathered the courage to ask her mom, "Mommy, why do you cut the tail of this fish?" And the mother said to her, "I don't know, I saw my mother doing it." And both of them called the grandmother and they asked the question, "Granny, why did you cut the tail of this fish?" And the grandmother said, "I don't know, my mother was also doing it." And the three of them called the great grandmother and they asked the same question. And the great grandmother said, "I cut the tail of the fish because the fish could not fit in the pan." And from that day, the young lady started to prepare the fish as whole as it was, including the tail. And let me tell you, there are many stories of fish tail dishes that are doing the rounds there. And these are stories that are passed from one generation to the next. These are stories that people just adopt and start doing without questioning why are they doing certain things. Just because the previous generation has done it, then it is passed to the next generation, and the next generation starts to implement things without questioning. And I am not by any chance saying that everything that comes from the old generation is wrong, but I'm saying sometimes in life we need to pause and break the rules so that we can be able to understand them and put into practice things that are going to take us forward. This young lady did the same until she became inquisitive and started asking the right questions. Then she saved her grandmother and her mother from just following up a tradition that they did not know where it comes from. This happens in our families, it happens in our churches, it happens in various social circles where we do things because they have always been done that way. The reason I'm saying this, I just want to challenge you and ask for you to ask yourself a question. Why are you doing certain things the way you are doing them? And the things that you are doing, are they helping you to take your life forward, or are they helping you just to create a vicious circle where you don't go anywhere? Are you able to challenge the standing rules so that you can redefine a new path for yourself? Let me introduce you to the second person. This is a young man who came to my workshop, and this young man said to me, because I was talking about this very subject of breaking the rules, that he wanted to become a choreographer. But he comes from a family where almost everyone is either a doctor or a chemical engineer. But he felt deep down inside that music and dancing are part of him, and he believed that this is something that he wants to pursue in life. But because of his family, he was then coerced. Yes, coerced. He was forced to follow that route. And true to it, he went through university, did the 4 years of studying, and ultimately he obtained the certificate. But let me tell you, he said he did not obtain the certificate for himself, but he obtained that certificate for his family. And after completion, he said, My mother, my father, here is your certificate, because this is what you wanted and I did not want it for myself. But now I am going to pursue my dream and become a choreographer. Later, his father came to him and said, "Son, I'm proud of you. You did what I always wanted to do. But because I did not have the courage and the guts to stand against my family, I just followed this route because everything has been done that way in my family." So the young lady and this young man are the two people that decided to break the rules in ways that are positive, that assisted them to pursue their dreams, but also gave courage to others to follow their dreams. And this young lady and the young man, they remind me of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And these are the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger that I would like you to think about and take to heart so that you can approach life with vigor and courage. This is what Arnold Schwarzenegger said. He said, "It is impossible to be a maverick or a true original if you're too well behaved and you don't want to break the rules. You have to think outside the box. That is what I believe. After all, what is the point of being on this earth if all you want is to be liked by everyone and avoid trouble?" What I'm taking out of Arnold Schwarzenegger's words is that either way, you will end up in trouble. You need to really shake the tree so that you can become the best version of yourself. Let's jump into it about how you can go about to break the rules. Number one, stop conforming. For me, conformance is simple as following a path and doing things that you know deep down inside your heart that they do not resonate with you. You go along because you don't want to upset the apple cart. You don't want to infuriate other people. You don't want to upset other people. And as a result, you just do whatever everyone is doing. As far as I'm concerned, that is the saddest way of living. It is tantamount to dying your death on an installment plan. It is dying a death of 1,000 cuts. Because following that type of living just creates tension in your heart. Because you know that you're doing something that is against what you feel deep down inside. That's not what you should be doing. So to break the rules, you need to stand back and say, I am not going to conform. And here, as I said at the beginning, I'm talking about breaking the rules of conformance, the rules that are taking you to a path that is followed by everyone in the crowd. But you say, I can stand with the ramifications and the aftermath of being a minority against the majority. That is the mentality that you need to adopt if you want your life to really go forward. It starts with stopping to conform. Number two, it's all about understanding your why. Once you understand your why, then you are on a path to breaking the rules of following everyone. You know, understanding your why gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you clarity of mind. It helps you to go after your goals. It is something that inspires you to action so that you are able to wake up to something. Even if you don't want to wake up, you are going to wake up whilst everyone is sleeping because you don't follow the rules. You understand that for your goals to be achieved, you need to wake up and do something about them. And the beauty of understanding your why starts with understanding that which you want to do, not only for yourself, but also for other people. So understanding your why is a big inspiration to be able to help other people to move forward whilst you yourself also are moving forward. It's Zig Ziglar who said, if you want to see yourself achieving, help many other people to achieve. And in that way, you will see yourself achieving. And that's the purpose of your why. Your why is not only for yourself, but it is for the greater good. And then, how are you going to achieve your why if you follow all the elements of conformance and everything that everyone is doing. So that second point of understanding your why is very important. Let's go to number 3. It's all about knowing and putting your strength into use. For you to achieve your goals, you need to understand what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. For you to excel, you need to continue to hone on your skills. You need to hone your strengths so that they put you in a position where you are productive and you are pushing for maximum results with whatever that you are doing. And at the same time, if you know that you are weak in a particular skill, and that skill is so important for you to achieve your goals, then you are able to put a plan in place that is going to help you to build strength around that weakness so that you can become a better you. So if you don't know your strengths and your weaknesses, you are just going to be one of the many just following through a path like cattle going to the slaughterhouse. But by knowing your strengths and by understanding your weaknesses, you break in the rules of just following up what everyone is doing. So it's very, very important that you understand what your strengths are and put those strengths into practice. The last point of breaking the rules is about understanding your convictions. Once you understand what are your strong beliefs, what are your values, and what are those principles that you stand for, then you'll be able to stand against any obstacles, against any pushbacks that are thrown at you. Then you'll start to become resilient and do things that will not put you on that narrow path. So if anything is pushed to you and you know that this is not aligning with my principles, then you'll be able to stand up and push back and still come out strong out of that tussle, if you like. If something is put to you and you know that your principle and your conviction is that I'm not going to drink because everyone is drinking. I'm not going to smoke because everyone is smoking. I'm not going to buy a car just because everybody is buying a car, because this violates my principles as far as health is concerned, as far as money is concerned. Then you'll be able to stand up for yourself and do things that are going to advance you. So it's important that really you look at these 4 factors of stopping to conform, understanding your why, knowing and putting into practice your strengths, and fourthly, understanding your convictions. If you are going to break the rules, but the rules that you break are the rules that are going to help to build you to become the best version of yourself, but help advance other people. So I'm saying to you, face your challenges. Dance with the fear of being rejected. Dance with the fear of being called names. Dance with the fear of being ostracized just because you have chosen to be unique and to be different, because you believe that once you follow that truth, you'll be able to reach your goals and become a better version of yourself without negatively impacting other people. I would rather choose that route rather than to stay on a route of the many and on a route filled with crowds, but going nowhere in the most fastest of the ways. If this message resonates with you, if you like the content that I said, I humbly appeal you to subscribe so that we can continue to build this community of dreamers, so that we can share this knowledge and help others to grow out of it. Until we meet in the next video, this is your friend in knowledge and empowerment on this journey of creating these great conversations that are going to change one person at a time. Thank you.